We suffered a tragedy, but that doesn't mean you're going to suffer a tragedy. As a matter of fact, we're going to do everything we can to help you not suffer that tragedy. So we're going to educate you. We're going to walk alongside you. We're going to follow up. We're going to provide resources, and we're going to do all of it at no cost to you. You know, our story started quite a few years ago when Ian was a little kid. Ian was that kid that was always pretty sensitive, was always kind of looking out for other kids. I think it was because he was probably the one who kind of understood what it feels like to feel crummy all the time, you know? He came to me when he was 11 years old, and he said, "Dad, there's something wrong. I'm just angry all the time. Can you help me?" And that really, for me, started our journey through kind of the whole mental health system and searching for care, searching for doctors, searching for the right treatment for him. And it was a struggle all along. And so, you know, we started the process of thinking that maybe this is like a performance anxiety thing. He was a really accomplished swimmer, and he had become an accomplished swimmer at a pretty early age, a state champion at 10. It never really occurred to me that this could be deep-seated mental illness.
I did notice something going on with the way he was learning and the way that he was doing his homework and the way he would react to when he didn't do well in school. And then I also noticed with swimming, and even outside of swimming, that anything could kind of change his mood within a few minutes. So he was up, he was down, sometimes he was happy, sometimes he wasn't, most of the times he wasn't. So it was pretty difficult to try to navigate that, so that we decided to get him into professional care. I talked to our school about it, we had some testing done. So he started going to counseling around 11 or 12, and he started medication, I think, when he was about 12 for depression and anxiety. So he was diagnosed with major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety pretty early, and then pretty much just struggled through that for years and years and years.
Yeah, I mean, that was the ultimate journey, was that we bounced around quite a bit initially, but once we kind of dialed in or zeroed in on this diagnosis, then it was, you know, fighting kind of within the system, medications, treatments, between counselors' appointments and appointments with a psychiatrist. But to Jill's point, it never really got any better. And I dare say it never really stabilized.
Mm-mm.
And so, you know, when it came time for him to go off to college, that was a big concern for us. And that was one of the things when we were looking at schools for him. Did they have something in place that could help him? And ultimately he settled on Michigan, and I'm glad he did, because of all the recruiting programs, that certainly was the best one, offered the best level of support. But I think the scary thing is, because of the lack of real treatment, because of the lack of our involvement, I think,
when he was younger,
and engagement throughout the process, it got to the point, even when he was at Michigan and he was getting excellent care, it was too late. It was too late, and we didn't know that. We thought they had a good handle on it. We thought, oh my gosh, okay, he's finally going to a place with world-class care, and it was going to be better. We thought he's going to a place where he's wanted, right? He's on scholarship there. He's going to be part of a team. It's going to be better. And it just didn't get any better. And then ultimately, you know, we lost him during his junior year, start of his junior year. But ultimately, the problem that we see, the reason we really wanted to be better, in Ian's honor, like I mentioned early on, he was the one that was, even despite all of these challenges, even despite how crummy he felt most of the time, he was the one checking on his teammates, saying, "How are you doing?" He was the one looking out for that kid who was kind of isolated or maybe off by themselves. And I think, you know, deep down inside, he was doing it because he himself felt that way a lot of times. He knew what that felt like. He knew what that looked like. And he said, you know what? I want to make sure somebody knows, you know, that somebody's looking out for you. And at the end of the day, that's the legacy we want to carry forward, to be better. We just want to be the ones saying, look, there's a better way. We can help you. Let's walk alongside you. Let's be there with you. Even better, let's engage your network. Maybe it's your immediate family, maybe it's your best friend, your roommate, your teammates. But let's engage your network, and so that we all know what role we play, we all know how we can help you manage and ultimately, heal from this illness. We want to give parents and families the answer to that question. Here's what you do.
Be Better meets you where you're at. So maybe you're not ready for care yet or have your family quite involved yet. Maybe you don't need extended care. Maybe you don't need something like Ian. Maybe you just need somebody to talk through what's going on.
The whole point is if you can get someone off the path of self-destruction and to a path of healing, of understanding that they've got an issue, understanding that it's okay to ask for help, it's okay to not be okay, so to speak, then we'll go a long way to ensuring a positive outcome. And as parents, that's what we want to be able to do for our community, because we understand what these other parents are going through, and we want to make sure that they have a resource to get questions answered. They have a resource to come to just to vent sometimes. That's what we want to be.